Each one of these houses had a barn, a chicken house, a smokehouse with a garden.
The other day I was Googling my area just looking for something to do, and I came across the boyhood home of Johnny Cash in Dyess, Arkansas, which is only about an hour away from where I live. And I had also found while doing the research this video from the BBC of him as an adult going back and showing the crew this town. So I decided to kind of trace along with that video and go to those different places and see what it all looks like now.
The property line was halfway between the two houses. They all had 20 acres of land to begin with in 1935. Now this is one of those, you call it canal, it's a drainage ditch. This is ditch 40.
Are these the banks that
These are some of the banks that my daddy and all of them were cleaning off when I was a water boy on the river gang.
I just seen way over there. The bus is
The only original building on the circle is the administration building. There's the Dyess Theater where I saw the Tex Ritter movies and Sunset Cars and Gene Autry movies. There's a bank, a theater. There's a big co-op store over there. There's a nice restaurant there. It was a beautiful little place.
The library is on down here in this.
Smaller now.
Yes, it's just amazing how small the
Look here, here's something that just keep broke me out. Louise. On the floor there, the holes where the mama's still looking for us and listening to the radio.
I thought of that very thing. You sit there with your ear glued to that radio. Remember at night, Daddy said, "Turn it down, John."
Yeah.
He'd sit there with his ear glued to that radio and listen to.
Did he think to turn it down? It didn't say you don't read.
This whole mini trip and the things I learned along the way turned out to be way more eye-opening than I thought they would be. See, Dyess Colony was formed out of FDR's New Deal in 1934 to create farming resettlement for impoverished farmers that were devastated by the Great Depression. It was named after William R. Dyess, a local official who spearheaded the project before his death in 1936. In this process, the colony transformed 16,000 acres of swampy land in Mississippi County, Arkansas, into a cooperative farming community where the government selected around 500 destitute families based on criteria like farming experience, health, and moral character. It was very subjective, from thousands of applicants across Arkansas. These families were relocated to the site, given a house and 40 acres of farmland, a mule, some tools, and seed on credit, with the expectation that they would repay the government after their harvests over time. The idea of this was to kind of foster self-sufficiency and just boost the economy, re-up these families who just had no way to rebuild after the Depression. Along with the farms themselves and the houses, the government also built schools and other community facilities around these small colonies. And for the record, I don't know enough to form an opinion about whether or not this was a good thing or anything really about it other than to tell you that this is how this colony came to be. Since this BBC video of Johnny coming here was filmed, the house has actually been fully redone by his sister, among others, to better represent what it looked like when they lived here. And there's a little gift shop and museum in the Dyess Theater and in City Hall. And yes, I am pronouncing that correctly. It's Dyess, not Dyess or anything like that. And this is something I just kind of found funny. When I went into the museum in City Hall, the lady asked me if I was there to pay my water bill. So that gives you an idea of how small of a town this is and how not busy this place was. Honestly, just me personally, I'm a fan of simplicity, so I enjoyed the historical context and everything, but I also couldn't help but think, just like, wow, I could totally live in a house like this. The cast iron stove, the unfinished wood, the classic upright piano in the corner and radio by the window, it all speaks to me in a way that a modern white-on-white house just doesn't. Of course, obviously, I'm just thinking in terms of myself. I don't have a family, so things change when you're talking about a family with 6 kids and things getting a lot more cramped. I also liked how through this whole experience, through the museum and everything, it wasn't romanticized. His childhood wasn't romanticized as this amazing like country childhood, and it wasn't romanticized in the bad way. It wasn't like exaggerated as this horrible childhood. It was just displayed as life. You see these pictures of him in his high school, like his high school classes, his yearbooks, and I mean, Johnny's brother did die in an accident on the farm, and Johnny's relationship with his father was far from ideal. But with all of this, the setting and the troubled world that these shotgun houses kind of formed out of, I didn't get a dark feeling from this place at all. To me, this isn't a story of overcoming tragedy or some wild upbringing that made him into who he is. It's just an interesting story, like a snapshot of a different time that just happened to produce a man that we can all listen to today and still connect with and enjoy. If anything, I like that this shows how great art can come from anywhere. The grid of this house is emphasized at that point. It's like there were hundreds of families just like his that were all lining the same area, and yet somehow, for some reason, with no obvious variables, Johnny Cash came out of this place and is the reason somebody like me is going back here and learning this history in 2025.